Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. Quick note about my readings, they are for your sun, moon, and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon, or rising sign Libra, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three. This is going to give you a more complete picture of how these speak to you and which part of you I as a reader resonate with. Please don't forget to check out my new channel which is solely dedicated to meditations and guided visualizations. You can find that in the link in the description box below. And also, if you are ready for your personal reading, they are back. So hit the link in the description. For your key to the week, you have the Hermit card, right? So it is going to be a relatively quiet week for you this week. I actually feel like this is going to be that week where you do some soul searching. This is going to be a week where you are taking almost like a bit of an inward journey to really ask yourself, you know, what is it that you want? What is it that you want to create? How is it that you envision your life going forward? Remember, Mercury is currently retrograde in the sign of Aquarius, and I'm talking about this for you specifically because this is offering you a trine energy. It's a harmonious energy. So when that happens, when you have a retrograde planet in a trine to your own sign, sun, moon, or ascendant, it tends to bring something back into the fold. It's like an old opportunity will come back. But for some of you, this is going to be a big realization. This could be a real understanding of where maybe you've deviated from the path that you set out for yourself. And you can ask yourself, am I okay with that, or do I want to bring it back into some sort of realignment? So for your actions and options this week, give these a quick shuffle. You have, throw them all over the floor. You have the Two of Pentacles. So there is a big decision. Well, not even a big decision that you're making. There's a realization that's coming up this week. And that Two of Pentacles is going to see you being very grounded about the decision that you're making. It sees you being really honest with yourself. Like this week, you are going to be weighing up a lot in your mind, doing that whole Libran thing as you do. But that Two of Pentacles, this is really asking you, it's not even really asking you, this is you asking yourself this week, how can I grow? There is growth for you to do here, Libra, and this week I feel like you're going to understand, or certainly come to that realization of this is what I actually want to put my time and energy into. So whatever soul searching you're doing this week, whatever is happening behind the curtain for you, I actually feel like you're using your mental and inner resources and faculties to the best of your ability. But rather than focusing them on everybody else like normal, you're focusing them on yourself this week, which is actually really nice. For your for your communications and conversations this week, you have the Two of Swords. So what do we see here straight away? You've got the two twos, right? Whenever you get two twos in a tarot spread that come up together, it represents an accord. What is an accord? It's like a pact or a connection that you make with somebody. It's kind of like an agreement that you reach. And this week there is an agreement being reached. But the funny thing is, I feel like this is you making that decision for yourself before anything else. And this is kind of like, maybe you're going to come into that understanding of, okay, you know what? Now I understand what I'm ready to give. And now I understand what it is that I'm ready to receive. This is actually a really good place for you to be. Now, for your Two of Swords, when it comes to your communications, remember your Two of Swords, yes, it's your psychic awareness and intuition, but this card very often talks about the oppositions that come up in partnerships. So this week, I think you're going to be really looking at where the challenges happen with relationships, and this is going to be you owning your part of it, but kind of voicing the opinion. You know what? I expect you to own your half of the challenges that we're facing, whether this is at work, in your personal life, with your family. Like there's a real strong sense this week where partnerships are definitely on the brain. But this is about ownership and accountability, and I think you've got yours, right? You're all aware of what your quirks and kinks are and what the, you know, the things that you might need to work on, but you're also very aware of what is not yours to own, and you're going to be very vocal about that this week, which is great. You may also spot this week, it looks like you might catch somebody doing something that they said they would never do, or do you know what I mean? And you're going to call, maybe you're calling them out on it. Interesting. For those of you that work for somebody else, again, I think this is going to see you asking you, I mean, this week might present you with the task of deciding if you are well placed, if this really is the place for you. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, etc., again, follow your hunch this week. What do I always say when the Hermit card shows up? The High Priestess has a message for you. So there is somewhere in you, for those of you that work for yourselves, there's a sense here that you've got a gut instinct of the way something's going to go, or whether you should or shouldn't work with a certain person. And this week it's time for you to follow through with it, right? That's an interesting one. For those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, you're I mean, yeah, in a lot of ways, I think this would be a great week for psychic development. I think this would be a really good week to take up a meditation practice. Anything that gets you really in touch with your intuition or your intuitive faculties. Best way to use your energy this week. For your money and materials, you've got the Three of Wands. So this is lovely. There could be a benefactor of some sort that comes in this week. It could be that maybe a grant or a loan or a bursary is opened up to you. The Three of Wands has a very windfall kind of energy to it, so this could definitely be something that opens up for you. It could just as easily be a move that you make ends up being financially lucrative for you, which is really nice. For your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your head and your brain. Really take time to nurture those aspects. So, you know, there's videos that you can do to give yourself like a really good head massage. You know, obviously getting out to have a head massage, not very easy at the moment. But that would be really, really good, as well as, you know, anything like brain puzzles, things that are going to challenge the brain and get it sort of, get those mental juices flowing would be awesome for you. And then when it comes to your home and environment, this week, I think a lot of you are looking further afield. I think there's going to be a lot of searches from you guys this week about whether, well, not even whether the environment you're in is okay. I think it's more a case of a lot of you are either looking at travel plans, but some of you could also be looking at moving plans. For your love and relations, you have the Three of Swords. You've got all the doubles this week. So 2 threes represents a calming influence. Now, what I find really interesting here, those of you who have felt that your relationship was on its teeter-totter, this week you'll be making that final cut, right? Because look at this, you've got the 2 of Swords and the 3 of Swords. And what happens when you see that sequence of numbers? A male from the spirit world is trying to get in touch. That's just an extra sort of outside message, but your 3 of Swords is where something is cut off, something is removed. Usually this is a conscious decision. And, you know, the fact that it's in your love sector, for those of you that are partnered and not happy and haven't been happy for a while, this is that final straw. This is that moment where you'll be making that decision, which makes sense, right? This is why I think you're taking your time over looking at who's accountable for what. For those of you that are single, it's not really a week for love. What I can tell you, because you've got the 2 threes here, 2 threes in a tarot spread represents a calm influence. Whatever decision you are coming to this week, it's not one that you're making in haste. This is you focused like a laser. It's you clear on your intention and your the desired outcome. There's nothing wishy-washy about you guys this week. You know, people say like, oh, Libras are indecisive, like ad nauseum. Bougie Raph. It's been known to happen. Yeah, this week there's nothing wishy-washy about you. It's very clear cut. You're very aware of what you're doing, which I really like for you guys, for sure. But yeah, interesting, the double. For that, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Although if you guys are quiet, I won't hold it against you. It looks like you will be. Take care, and I'll see you soon.